Hello everyone, and welcome back to Caverns of the Snow Witch. When we last left off, we just began exploring the said caverns, and we just saved a dwarf from a devilish trap, a pit. And now it's time to, well, proceed to continue our quest, to try to find the Snow Witch, kill her, and rob her of her treasures. That's our mission here. The tunnel through the glacier soon leads into the mountainside itself, and the walls change from ice to bare rock. We enter a large cavern which has 3 other exits leading from it. One to our left, one to our right, and the main one carved as a giant skull lying directly opposite. As we enter, an ugly robed man steps out of the mouth of the skull, holding a glass prism in his outstretched hands. He commands us to turn back, as only the Snow Witch's personal servants are allowed inside the mountain. Alright, so it seems that we are definitely on the right track. We are nearing her inner circle, inner chambers, I believe. And this must be her personal guardian or pet. I'm not... he doesn't seem that dangerous, and I'm not really scared of this one. Let's see what options you have. Well, we could attack him with our sword straight out. That's not a bad idea necessarily, but you know, let's see what else we can do. We actually have a magic flute, which we may wish to tell him that we have been asked to come and play it for the Snow Witch. Right. If you recall, we picked up that magic flute from the kitchen, where with a bunch of other miscellanea. That goblin cook was quite a hoarder of magical items. Let's see if that works out. Well, the man nods his head and tells us to follow him. He walks towards the left-hand exit and points down the tunnel, telling us that the Snow Witch's chamber is at the end. Alright, this is definitely a trap. What I'm thinking is that we don't have the obedience color, and we are not of a race that is normally associated with the Snow Witch, so they're not, I don't know, orcs or, you know, evil creatures. So maybe he saw through our very clever ruse. So we are not going to walk down into the tunnel. I'm pretty sure we would be trapped. Instead, we are going to draw our sword to attack him. Let's see how he likes that. That's a good option anyway. Let's dispose of any evil creatures there in here. The ugly man sneers as we draw our sword. He rubs the prism, and suddenly 3 identical images of himself appear. They walk towards us, each one has a dagger raised in his right hand. 2 of the images must be illusions, but which will we strike with our sword? Alright? We have no indication, so I don't know. We could strike the left, the middle, or the right one, but well, we entered this cavern, this catacomb system, this maze, this labyrinth, and we immediately turned to the right, and that was the correct answer. So let's see if that works out again. The illusionist screams in pain as our sword cuts into his side. Okay, it seems that we managed to actually find the real illusionist. He drops to the floor as his other 2 images fade away. As we step over him, he starts to laugh and stands up, his wound completely healed. Okay, we could attack him again, or we could try to smash his prism. He was holding that prism out in a very prominent way, so I'm pretty sure that maybe it's the source of his power. If not, it's the very least it magnifies his capabilities. So let's try to get rid of this little tool, and then probably the battle will be easier if it works out. So let's see if it works. Let's try to smash his prism. We pretend to give up the fight and then suddenly leap at the illusionist. Catching him momentarily off guard, we manage to snatch the prism out of his hands and throw it onto the floor. Okay, so I guess it worked out. It shatters into tiny pieces, and the illusionist turns and flees into the skull mouth, screaming at the top of his voice. Okay, wow, okay, that was easier than I expected. So I guess this was the source of his power. So he was pretty weak without it. He might be getting some reinforcements here or whatever, but at the very least I don't think that he himself is going to pose much of a problem later on either, unless he has somewhere a stockpile of these prisms, which I kind of doubt. Smoke rises from the shattered fragments of the prism and forms itself into a shape of a bald, fat man, a genie. Hovering in midair, he bows and thanks us for releasing him. He tells us that if we call on him, he will make us invisible just once as a token of his gratitude. Without saying another word, the image shimmers and disappears. We now have to decide which way to head. Alright, so that's actually pretty good. It's not among the consumables, but he will turn us invisible once, okay? So I guess it's a contextual, well, I wouldn't call it an item, contextual something that we gained. Alright, so we could enter the tunnel to our left, enter the tunnel with the skull mouth, or the tunnel to our right. We are definitely not going to the left one, because that's the one the Illusionist was directing us towards, and I'm 100% sure it's trapped. So scratch this one off the list. Now regarding the other two, I'm pretty sure the skull mouth is the main entrance, so I'm also quite sure that this is like the most dangerous path, but it might hold, you know, something else, encounters or maybe items to take. I'm pretty sure this is not trapped per se directly, so let's proceed in the main one, main entrance, and yeah, let's hope we can face whatever is lurking there. The tunnel soon leads into another cavern, where we see a huge white bearded man wearing white furs, lifting a wooden chest onto a high shelf. He is a frost giant. There is only one exit out of his lair via a tunnel in the opposite wall. And didn't he see or hear the Illusionist running through here screaming for mercy or whatever? He seems totally oblivious, not caring about this at all. Well, we could run through his lair into the tunnel opposite, so I guess it would take a luck or a skill roll to get through. So we could escape, but we are no cowards. We are going to attack him. I actually wanted to like talk to him, but we don't have that option, so let's see what happens if we attack him. We definitely don't want to miss out on this encounter. The frost giant has not yet noticed us. Even weirder, he must be totally deaf or something. His face is creased as he concentrates on his task, oblivious to anything around him. Or he must be deaf and totally dumb as well. I mean, you know, not very intelligent. Alright, we could fight him with our sword, or we could use a sling against the frost giant, and we do have a sling. We do have a sling. We got the sling from the dwarf that we saved, so let's see if we can use it. We place an iron ball in the sling and twirl it around our head before releasing it at the frost giant. Now we need to do a skill roll attribute test, but since our skill is at 12, we are guaranteed to succeed, and we do. The iron ball flies through the air and hits the frost giant on the temple. His huge frame crumples to the floor like a house of cards. The wooden chest he was lifting breaks open, spilling its contents. We find 3 ornate rings and a cracked bottle which emits a sweet, scented odor. Alright. Let's... Wow, we cannot do anything with the cracked bottle. We could just ignore these things and, you know, proceed, but that's not what we are here to do. So let's try on any of the rings. Alright. Having rubbed the bottle and sniffed our fingers, we decide that it is only perfume inside. Okay, I guess that makes sense. I don't know why, why it's handled this way, but whatever. Why does a frost giant need perfume? Maybe it belongs to the snow witch or something. We examine the 3 rings and decide which one to put on our finger. Okay, we have a gold, a silver, and a copper ring. Let's put on the gold ring. No thinking here. We are now wearing a magic ring, which will enable its wearer, so us, to resist the effects of freezing cold. That sounds awesome. And we also gain 1 luck point. That's also great. Our luck is now up to 11, which is wonderful. And we can put on the silver ring or the copper ring. I don't trust the silver ring, so let's try the copper ring. Let's see if that one works out. We are now wearing a magic ring, which has the power to summon a warrior to our aid. Once only, we gain 1 luck point. Alright, so our luck is back at maximum, which means that we are guaranteed to succeed in the next luck roll, which is excellent. As I said, I don't trust the silver ring, we are going to skip that one, and I don't want to push our luck either. We cannot gain any more luck points, so let's just leave as we are. So we got pretty lucky. We didn't need to like properly fight any of these previous two creatures. So neither the frost giant nor the illusionist. We managed to dispose of them without anything actually wasting anything at all. So let's proceed and let's dispose of the snow witch just as swiftly and cleanly. We soon arrive at a crossroads in the tunnel. However, we have no time to examine the left and right branches as a strange humanoid is advancing towards us from straight ahead. Alright? Before us stands a crystal warrior, one of the Snow Witch's personal guardians, who has been sent to deal with us. He is made of quartz, which has been animated by the the Snow Witch's sorcery. Edged weapons will not harm the crystal warrior. Our sword is useless. If we possess a warhammer, which we do, we may succeed in smashing the crystal warrior to pieces. Wow, now this is an enemy to be reckoned with for sure. Pretty sure it's quite sturdy and elegant as well, I guess. So, if you recall, we picked up the warhammer from the fur trapper's hut. And I guess it's time to put it to good use. And also it seems to be that this crystal warrior is a personal guardian, so that means that we are getting near, question mark. We still haven't been adventuring that long. The crystal warrior bears down upon us with surprising speed. We have no choice but to protect ourselves. Right, this is a magical construct made of, well, quartz, so it's crystal, so I think this is going to be a pretty formidable opponent. So let's see. Wow, yeah, oh, okay. So it has a skill of 11, so we barely outskill it, and it has a stamina of 13, which is also quite a lot. It's actually really, really strong, powerful both, and agile as well. We are still favored here, but barely. I'm going to burn exactly 2 luck rolls here, only after we have hit him, and of course the first one goes to him. Okay, we land 1 blow and we roll a luck roll. This is guaranteed to succeed, so scratch 4 stamina points of the crystal warrior. Let's continue. Ow. Alright, second successful blow and we hit him again, or it rather, it's inanimate, I guess. Alright, that was a miss, and that's another miss. And ow. Okay, only 2 more hits to land, and from our side, not the other way around. Okay, 1 more further one, and ow. And it's down, and we are at 10 stamina points. Not bad. I mean, we suffered 5 hits, we landed around 5 as well, excluding the luck rolls. That was a tough fight, but at least we're still alive. We are triumphant. We step over the pieces of broken quartz that were once the crystal warrior and carry on along the tunnel until it ends at a T-junction. I wonder why we're not taking a piece of quartz with us. I guess it's worthless in this state. Now we could turn left or right, but that is not a real option. I mean, we were heading in an eastwardly direction, if you recall. We came from the south. We are proceeding towards the north, I guess, as in most such adventures. And since we were coming from the west towards the east, that means if we go right, we are going to turn to the south, and that's precisely where we want to go. We usually don't get the option to turn to the south, so it's either a dead end or a loop or something, so or a hoop. So I guess that we want to go that way. So let's turn right. The tunnel ends at a wooden door which is locked. Okay, we press our ear to it and hear the sound of feet slowly shuffling across the floor. Okay. Let's knock on the door. I wonder who's at home. I'm pretty sure it's not the Snow Witch. Her feet would not slowly shuffle across the floor. A man comes to the door. His skin is a sickly grey-white color. Is of a sickly grey-white color, I guess. His vacant eyes and slow movements are definitely those of a mindless zombie. And this is a very effective drawing, I would say. This poor man was gashed open. I wonder why he has flesh on him everywhere apart from the face. That's some nightmare fuel right here. So we could actually run away. I guess the zombie is too slow and stupid to chase us, but we're not gonna do that. Zombies are not that dangerous. They tend to have around like 8 to 9 skill and stamina points each, so definitely an easier encounter than the Crystal Warrior was. So let's attack this one and put it out of its misery. The zombie picks up a club from behind the door and shuffles forward to fight us. Okay, I don't think it's dangerous. No, it's not. It has 6 skill points. Wow, we could actually escape after 2 attack runs, but this is like one of the weakest foes we have faced on this adventure, so we're not gonna do that. We're instead going to just make mincemeat out of this poor zombie. Right. Rotten mincemeat, I would add. The zombie was probably in charge of the storeroom that the door opens into. Alright, we found a storeroom. That's excellent. This is precisely the stuff that we need. Jars and bottles of various shapes and sizes line the walls, and many boxes and barrels are stacked up on the floor. We search quickly through them and find little of interest except for a jar of ground minotaur horn, some garlic, a box full of teeth, a jar of pickled lizard tails, and 4 large dragon eggs. Okay? As we will not be able to fit everything into our backpack, we may only take 3 of the items. Well, that sucks. Why not? I mean, a box of teeth and a jar doesn't... They don't seem like huge items. None of these seem like... Like, how big can a garlic be, right? Some garlic. I guess it's more than one bunch, but still. Okay, so we need to select 3 of the 5 to take with us, so I guess we should rather exclude some items that we don't want to take. Well, I don't want to take this box of teeth. It sounds gruesome, and I'm not sure we need it, so that is one of the ones we are going to miss. And all the others are probably magical, so ground minotaur horn sounds exciting. Garlic, we know very well that it has saved us previously, actually, on some of our previous adventures, so that's definitely one we're gonna take. And, well, out of the other 2, I'd say that, or rather 3 rather, so ground minotaur horn, dragon eggs, and pickled lizard tails. I guess the least exciting one is the lizard tails, so we leave that one behind. Let's bring the ground minotaur horn. Yep, the garlic, we're definitely taking the garlic, and the dragon eggs. How could we leave such dragon eggs behind, right? Leaving the room, we walk back to the junction and head straight on down the tunnel. Right. But before we do that, I'm actually going to make the cut of the video right here, because this is a perfect time to rest and recuperate in the storeroom. I'm very happy with our progress. We have actually made very good progress. We have slain or defeated at the very least several of the stronger minions of the Snow Witch, not counting this poor zombie. He stood no chance whatsoever. And we actually picked up quite a few useful items, hopefully useful items, interesting items for sure. So I guess it's time to make a break here. I thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Bye bye.